Okay, hello, good day. It is time that I will commence a new project now that I have completed this. That is a shader room. So I will take my stone and such, and I will go. Which direction should I go? The thing is, I might need to expand this area because it's like the main area. I can grow some grand trees here. I can the things here. There's plenty of things I can do. I just need to clear out some of these things. But I need a place where I can do... actually, I should also, for this once, turn off music. Because I have plenty of things to talk about. And I can't risk getting sidetracked. Sorry, I'm Minecraft. I'm sorry. You can see there's an intermediate, but there are plenty of things that I need to do. So, for one, I have decided on another previous game. Now I have figured out that what mechanics should be included in it. So now I know how to make that game work. And as that game is... As the game is smaller, like faster to make, I am gonna make that game instead of my battle game. Now it will mean that it'll take longer for me to make the story, but this game actually has potential to be very good. So therefore, kind of a good trade-off. I can't reveal much about the game before it's like out. Just like I need to get it done. But I will be working on it on and off until it's done. Right now I'm writing some pseudocode for it because I have not decided on which engine I should use. I have to consult different services. I need to determine based upon the rough sketch of the code where I can make it. Like I could probably do it in just base Java and then just run it as a Java file. Probably could. The question is, should I? Like, can I do that with I want to do it in Java because I love Java, but should I use a game engine instead? It might be that I should do a game engine because that way there's also security involved into it, and I don't want to deal with security. I want it to be an offline game, so that and actually, now I think about it, I guess you could make a very, very strong PvP system with it, but then it should like be the same game, but an online variant of it. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm still gonna keep on writing pseudocode. And that's actually a really good way to do it, because once you do pseudocode, then you'll be able to map out what exactly is it that you need. What does the game need to... hold up, there's some problems with the fans. There's some problems with the fans. There's problem... Oh, wait a minute, I need to check something. I just need to check if it got the part where I went into something. If it didn't, then it's good. Doesn't look like it. Ah, yeah, it didn't. It didn't. Okay, good. Good. Now the PC stops making that sound like. Now it begins. Okay. Stop you. Game. Up you, PC. Please stop making that sound. Please sound. Really need to put it up to that fan speed. Oh dear me. There we go. That fixed it. Okay. So there are many things I need to do when it comes to making a game. There's a lot of things to do. But a very important thing that I also need to do is to... yeah, I think I should also start doing some streams on Total War Warhammer. Just like for one, I can run that game, and it's not everyone who can run it. So then I can like showcase some of the shenanigans you can do in it. And also my favorite character, Oxyotl. I want to showcase how immensely strong he is. Like there's also other people that are very strong. It's just that Oxyotl is a bit different than everyone else. I mean, what other character could just summon an army of blessed units? Basically equivalent to Regiment of Renown. Just... then there's just an army of blessed units. And like, it doesn't take too long for him. Well, it takes 30 turns to regen everything, but he will have enough spawning sequence points to summon all these people. And if he also does his missions, then he will have even more. I don't know, he just feels very strong. Okay, that's a problem, that it starts lagging that direction. Yeah, I think I need to find a different location where there isn't any hiccups. Yeah, because otherwise it doesn't really function. But I guess it's not lagging here, but it lags when I get it down. What was it again I was talking about? Yeah, I wanna do some playthroughs of that game, Total War Warhammer. Like showcase some of the shenanigans. Okay, so it seems that this layer is secure. That this layer is like secure. Maybe I should just do it as a maybe the shader room doesn't need a lot of space, and I can always go into that other place and do it over there. Yeah, I could do that. Anyway, I want to showcase a lot of the shenanigans you can do in that game. So yeah, I will be also starting to make Total Warhammer streams. I just need to figure out how to hide my Steam profile, because I don't want anyone to know what my Steam profile is. I want that to be a secret. Oh, yes, people can just add me, and that's like, ugh. And then people know who I am, and that's a bit annoying. Probably also shouldn't. No, never mind. There is a... There is a lot that needs to be done. What else is there to say? Something about horror and tyrant. Something about horror and tyrant. Right, I forgot to make a list of all the things that I wanted to talk about. Okay. I'm gonna think here. Great. Yeah. So I've given a more thought about the problem is I also want to work on the other game. Like the two games I want to work on, but I can only pick one. So I'm gonna pick the easier one to make. So that I eventually can get to the other one. There's also some other studies that I need to do, but like I feel with my medication regained, I think I can manage to do a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna work through this. I'm gonna work and get stuff done every day. Did I just Oh my goodness. I am a destructive force right now. Anyway, the raffles, they are... I've done some thought about why is it that a tyrant left the elements that they left on the raffles when they were exiled underground, because the tyrants, they ripped the most abilities, like supernatural powers, from the raffles, so that most of them just became plain scales. That they did when they were doing the rebellion. Of course, the Drevels that already had abilities, they kept their abilities. But new spawns would not have any of their abilities. Any other than the ones that were left to be. And those include fire, or fireborn, thunder, kinetic, and ice. All that would have had other elements are grayscales now. That means they have no element, they are just Drevels. Now, being a Drevel still makes you very powerful. So, that's always something, but and you still have the, like, thins, and you also, the benefit is you're actually invisible to the fourth dimensional shenanigans. You're invisible to it. You can still be touched, but you are invisible. But the reason why they left the elements that they did is a... Well, let me just see how I thought it was. It is because that, for one, the fireborn, they were left to be because that is a piece of art. The flames, the fire, the ever-changing things that are very predictable, but you just require a single gust of air, this tiniest gust, and it will change how it will behave immediately. All the previous calculations on what it would be can be thrown out the window, because that little gust of wind skewed the entire equation in a different direction. The flames will not flicker the same way, they'll flicker in a different way at different times, or the same way at different times. And that is just kind of an art piece for them. So they couldn't really bring themselves to do it. But the reason why they have all the emotion, but actually that's not why they used the element. Sorry, I misremembered. But the description does describe fire, and that is equivalent to why, and that is the reason why they left them with all the emotion, because being fire and chaotic, but very predictable at the same time, then the entire emotional spectrum should still be available to them. And as you will see later, it is actually a curse, or so they thought. Tyrant thought it was a curse, but it turns out it wasn't. Fire is also one of the weakest elements, because, well, there's like an upper limit to how much you can do. There's only so much heat you can draw out of your body, and it doesn't take a lot of energy before you go catatonic, because you need energy to function. The Draffles need to function. So therefore, it kind of is a very useless element unless you can stand in molten flame, like in lava and such, and then as you're siphoning heat from that, then you just sling fireballs everywhere, or scorching winds or anything. Yeah, Fireborn, they also, of course, they make fire, because that is actually quite efficient, because that will then propagate the heat. But the problem is, if you are trying to protect the forest, you can't really use the element. So really, the fire element is very useless of all of them. Still better than being a grayscale. And kind of not, because grayscales are at least invisible. You just have an element you can't really use. That's annoying. But yeah, the Fireborn, they also tended to be very nihilists until the Graphics game. Now, the ice, that is also a, well, that was also not really a strong element for what it, like, could do from an elemental spectrum. Like, of course, you can make ice, you can make barriers and such, but ice is not really that tough. You need a lot, like, you need it to be very compact in order to be tough, but then you basically need to freeze a river or something. You can't just freeze the condensed air. And, well, at that point, you are using a lot of thermal capacity just to make a solid ice thing. Besides, it's always better to use metal in that case. Like, it serves more as like a distraction to something. To like distract someone, throw an ice shard at their eyes so they have to react to it, or something like that. But actually, what was my... Let me get... Okay. So this is what I've written. Ice and Plain. Why did they do to them as they did, and let them keep vengeance? You could argue they still need to follow their path, and that the wars that they follow would eventually finish off the Draffles. But the Graphics, when they came and saved them, but the Graphics came and saved them. But does that make sense? Yes, the Fireborns were out of love for the art, and all the behemoths are kinetic. They could retain the world. If they had vengeance, yeah. So basically, the point is that Draffles, the Tyrants still needed, while they were underground, still needed the Draffles to continue wars, and well, if Draffles had all their emotions, then they may have tried to make peace with the Fraxen and such. So therefore, they still set them to have vengeance. That doesn't explain why they let them have ice. That just explains why they let as a name. But what I can say, though, is the reason why kinetic Draffles did not have any emotions whatsoever was because, well, Tyrant still needed someone to maintain the world, and if the kinetic behemoths had emotion, then they might have turned against the Fraxen and the Vnox when they attacked, and thereby partaking in the war. And if they partake in a war, then they would be a target of the war. And if they ended up being a casualty, that would have dire consequences for the world. So that's why kinetic rifles don't have any motion. Did I not read about the ice thing? That's called the needless power. Okay, I actually don't have an explanation for why Iceborne were left with their element. I do have an explanation why they were left with their emotion, and that is just simply because they are not essential for the world's stability. At one point, I think it was because that effectively the Iceborne technically also have that element of flame in them. Because, like, as they are accumulating heat from using their ice powers, then they will eventually themselves just become a flame. And, like, there is nothing more poetic than a creature made of fire that just comes to bring vengeance. Like, that is beautiful. Meanwhile, the Fire Laneborn can't really do that. They can jump in a molten pit, for as rare as they are in Gravleon. Oh, now I really want to play Shipwrecked. I think actually I'm going to play Shipwrecked after I've just done this. Just a bit of Shipwrecked. Oh no, I should do the giant thing. Anyway. The travels basically are little. I don't know what I wanted to say about that, but Tyrant is just what am I saying? I'm being a bit weird right now. Sorry about that. It's just tired. But yeah, the Tyrants, they have a lot they did to them, the Drafels, so that they became who they were. And like, their plan was for them to inevitably die to attrition from war with the Thraxen that would come to the surface and the Nox that would descend. Maybe Lightfist would have been left alive, but like one person against all of them, surely they would be able to win that. But then the Ravix came and all was well. Well, not well, because there was still a war and the Thraxens still attacked the Ravix. It just soon turned out to be that you can't really kill a Ravix. Because Ravix have this interesting property that they herald from a world where they... Well, I should not commit to anything before I'm like certain, before I've given it a real thought. So like, take this with a very, very big pile of spices. But basically they scaled the reptile creatures that were before on their homeworld. They developed a lot of environmental weapons that oh, this is actually a really good idea. This will actually be very good. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Oh, I love that. But they developed a lot of weaponry and toxic waste and nuclear bombs and all sorts of things, and then they just blew each other to smithereens, and they perished. Then, from the rubble, came the Ravix. The Raffic basically were the only creature to survive this. And reason for this is that they are inherently one with the material that is now known as rat, which is just a compound that has a tendency to corrupt and or like malform everything, like twist and contort it into something that isn't, like a prion printer or like twisting and contorting contorting stuff at the molecular level so that nothing functions. There is no creature that can ever live with a dose of rats, because rats will like corrupt their DNA. It will, or their DNA equivalent. Raffles don't have DNA; they have something else. But like, it will twist and contort everything that's you. The only ones who can survive it and actually need it is Raffic. So therefore, you never consume a Raffic because they don't have fluids. Raffics don't have fluids, they have like tar of sorts, or resin. And like, as long as you don't like digest this resin, you'll be fine. It's like contained inside of it, like bonded on a molecular level. But like, once you digest it and you dissolve the resin, then suddenly you free up the rat. And that will then spread and destroy your body entirely. And then you will die and land on the ground, and then the rat will corrupt the rest of your body, seep into the soil, and start propagating through everything. Consuming all that is. Effectively, if a Raffic was killed and then consumed, then that would eventually, without intervention, lead to the entire world that Raffic is on, and whichever world that this planet will come in contact with, all of them will be fully and utterly infested with rat. Eventually. It will take time, but it will eventually happen. If there's winds, good luck surviving, because that's then going airborne. Now, that is where Draflion is very special, because on Earth, the Earth would just be gone in an instant. No, it wouldn't be gone in an instant, but it would like being to eradicate orcs. You can't do it. You can't eradicate orcs. It would be equivalent to that. Only now, if you just touch a spore, then you are now infected with it. Well, assuming. Like, the chances are pretty high per second that it's gonna start latching on and starting to start molding you. The chances are pretty high. You can be lucky. It's not worth the risk. But that's where Draflion is very special, because Draflion has the behemoths. And the behemoths, as soon as they spotted this rat, like starting to go airborne, they can just stop the air. They can just stop the airflow. Mid-air. Like, you don't get to blow anywhere. The wind just stops. And there's also the fact that tyrants can technically also destroy it. Raffles can theoretically also. But the problem is that they can't quite do it. Like, they're not strong enough to do it. Oh, that's actually interesting. Because the interesting thing is that Lightfist effectively has half a tyrant fragment inside of him. So he would actually be able to survive rat. That's actually really interesting. I've never thought of that. I should probably write that down. My, Lightfist, you are one son of... Right. Lightfist. Since he effectively has half a fragment of side of him, he can effect of rat. This is so how he having half his body eradicated. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's also a thing. Because if the Tyrants have come back to face Lightfist, he would still have won. Because now he would have had a lot of time to like prepare and train. And the thing is that Lightfist, at his peak, when he comes back after he has been gone for like 1,000 years, he can take on Horror, which is effectively all tyrants, including the ones that are dead, in so to speak, combined into one. He can take on that, and it's like a 50-50. He can beat. He was the main one that actually could defeat tyrants during the Civil War. The other raffles, they had to be like do subterfuge missions and such, and sometimes with a Drake Piercer they could destroy them if they hit the target. The Drake Piercer is also what quote unquote kills Lightfist. There's so many wonderful things in that. What should I compare the Drake Piercer to? I also have to consider how exactly does it kill a tyrant, because it has to like tap into their fourth. Well, I guess a tyrant is like commits itself to being vulnerable by giving itself a form. It's not really meant to kill a fourth dimensional shape. But them being so large and being wanting to be real, then, well, death is also part of it. Wait. Okay, that does add up. Good. I should probably halt for now. I have played for 33 hours, so... No, well, not 33 hours, but 30 minutes. So I should probably halt here. But am I done talking? Am I done talking? I don't think I am. So, tyrants also have some very... What else is there about red? I don't know. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. So therefore, I am instead... think I'll stop from here. So, yeah, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, the smart trick is here. This is 15, that is 12. Then we say we just double 12, and then we add 6. So that means we get 30. 30 but do I then need to add... If it was 12 and 10, then it would be 24. If it was 12... No, wait, you don't double it. No, you just say, okay, if it was 12 with 10, that would be 120. So that means it is 120 and 60. So that means 180. And then times 5, that means 60, 720, 720, 318. 18, 36, 5, 72, 90? Yeah, 90. That means 900 blocks. Okay, 900 blocks. Does that add up here? One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 640. 2, that's 120. 2. It might add up. There's also this dirt. So yeah, it adds up. Alright. Good. I'm done. We just do. Damn, this is good. Alright, I'm done. Yeah, goodbye.